Hello, everyone. Julie Heinrich, Marketing and Business Development Manager for CTSI, back with you on another beautiful day for our YouTube series, All About It or All About IT. It's really how you want to look at it. But I am very excited and honored to be joined by Katie McDermott from HP Inc. She is our partner business manager and a fantastic advocate and a fantastic guest. So, Katie, welcome to the series.
Thank you for having me.
So first, kind of tell us about yourself, your background, how you got into IT.
Well, it was actually kind of an accident. I went to school at Eastern in Portales and wanted to do criminal justice. And HP moved down to Rio Rancho, New Mexico about 16, almost 17 years ago. Mm-hmm. My dad was at Intel. He's like, why don't you apply at HP? I was like, okay. And it's worked out. I've been here ever since. So 16 years, just hit 16 years in February. So
nice. That's awesome.
Long time. Good company.
Yes, so absolutely. Honestly, HP was actually one of the first companies I interacted with when I first started at CTSI and really started the partnership and had no idea what I was doing. And they were like, hey, by the way, here's a partner. I was like, cool. I don't know what that means. So could you give us a little bit for those of us, or for those that don't know HP Inc., could you give a little more background on that?
Yeah, actually, HP has just turned 80 years old.
Wow.
We'll be almost 85. Originally founded by Bill and Dave out of Palo Alto, California. And their first product was the audio oscillator. They sold it to Disney for the movie Fantasia.
Nice.
The garage that they created it in, and they had actually baked it in the oven and this whole thing, is on California's historical places. So it's maintained. Out there, it's a kind of a museum. You can take a look from the street. So it's really pretty cool. So we started there and just grew over time, calculators, printers, devices, acquired companies and such. So now we are everything from poly headsets to print, PC, you name it. So
wow, that's awesome. I guess I didn't realize that they worked with Disney, and I love Fantasia. So
they tell you that in training. It's like one of the first things you learn. You go, but it's a PC and print company. How does that work out? So pretty interesting. Yeah. We're fact now.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. I'm going to use that then. Well, so, over the years, how have you seen the IT industry grow?
Well, so obviously, going back, I won't go back too far, but if you even go back to being in high school and college, right? No one had their own devices when I was doing that. Phones in general. But when I first started HP, I think your minimum, your device would come with like 4 gigs and like a 500 gig spinning drive, different things like that. Now I think your minimum is basically 16 gig, 8 to 16. Everything's a solid state drive. AMD wasn't really in the PC market as big as they are now. It was mostly owned by Intel. Intel's getting bigger and faster. And so it's changed, everything from devices too. You think about how thick these devices were with optical drives, how heavy. I mean, talk about being a remote worker or traveling. I mean, nothing was thin and light. So everything is getting smaller, faster, and now we're on the cusp of AI really taking a front seat. So I think it's just going to accelerate, but it has changed pretty dramatically, and I think it's going to continue.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's funny you say that. I've noticed that too, even whenever I had my first computer to where I'm at now. Yeah. It's definitely different, but works a bit better too. So
yes.
Well, what would you say, the biggest challenge is with business owners today?
I think there's a few, AI being one, and not that AI is going to be significantly challenging, but it's moving at such a fast pace. So people are concerned with security, how they're going to manage it. And then you have everything from multiple devices in an environment, how you manage that, and your end users, hackers and folks, bad actors are getting even more and more creative and sophisticated in how they go about things. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably the biggest concern for folks, or the biggest challenge and just staying up to speed with how quick things change. You get the newest, latest and greatest thing, and then just like that, it is outdated and antiquated, and there's something else better in the market.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest challenge is, obviously this year we have the Windows 11, we have new processors from Intel, AMD, and Qualcomm that are all AI processors in our devices. And so, when and where you're going to be able to use AI, people consuming versus creating with it, knowing what you need, to get these applications up and running. So, couple of challenges, but I think also exciting opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And, on that note, so, you're going to be a big part of our data event in April. And so a lot of what we're talking about is AI, but then also, kind of talking a little bit more about Windows 10 and end support and why that's important.
Right. So on the HP side, right, when we're talking about data, it's a little bit different than other folks. So, we are consumers of a lot of data. We get a lot of feedback from our devices. We have hundreds of thousands of units deployed, and we're always seeking information back from them on battery health and how we can implement, security pushes and this and that. And so we're monitoring our own data, our own devices out there. And then on the flip side with Windows 11, right, security, functionality, performance, those are all going to be important things for customers to consider. Coming up, I think it's October 14th is when end of support is. So one of the things we have is a workforce experience, and that handles a bunch of that data coming in from other devices. And so it really helps us improve the functionality of our devices, our security, and be more predictive for customers. So that's how we use data, really.
Yeah. Well, and, part of that partnership that we have with you guys is having those educational events and having these conversations. And what would you say may be the benefit of having, an MSP like CTSI for your business at, an HP as well?
Well, I think, first of all, being local, right? You guys understand the climate of your customers here local, what's happening from everything from a political stance to an environmental stance, which is really helpful. Mm-hmm. And folks like buying from people who they trust and who they know. I think relationships are huge, but it's a one-stop shop. You guys are a great managed service provider and can take care of everything from, front of the back of the house for customers. And knowing HP and that you have a relationship with HP and we're a call away.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you say? I mean, you kind of talked a little bit, I guess, about it, but, I know you've probably worked with other MSPs as well, but what would you say makes us unique?
I've been to the road show. Your relationship with your customers is great. I heard nothing but great things. They seem like they're family. They've worked with you guys for a long time. Your focus on security is fantastic and really leading with that. And then the folks you just have, working and taking care of your clients. I mean, they're just great folks. Just saw a couple of them today. Just great team members, and you guys really care about your customers. And so it's a huge advantage having you guys in this West Texas area.
Awesome. Well, I will say too, I just know that, one of the things that we talk about too that makes us unique is our partnerships. And so HP is a huge partner for us. And just the fact that you're here, I was able to convince you to do this. But you're part of our events. You're with our customers. I mean, we couldn't be more grateful for the partnership. So
feelings mutual.
Yeah. Awesome.
Goes both ways. So thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you. Well, anything else you'd like to add?
No, we're CTSI and HP. That's it.
Ooh. All right. Well, and that's it for us this week. Feel free to join us at our April Roadshow. We will be in Midland, Amarillo, and Lubbock on April 8th through the 10th. And Katie will be joining us. So come see us both and learn all about data. So with that, I'm Julie Heinrich, and I'm all about it. See you next time.